Greater Good Radio. Connect, learn, heal, and grow. How did you get your name?
Kawaiho olana. So my grandmother, Elaine, named me, and it comes from, the typical naming process that they go through. She slept on it and thought on it and dreamt on it. And the name basically means the waters that run still and deep. And so there's like an undercurrent that's steady, that's somewhat calm and moving slowly. And that was the name that she gave me when I was born.
Do you know anything else about that name?
For the most part, it holds kind of true as to the way I kind of operate in general. Try to keep an even demeanor over time. It's been a little bit, before I even knew what the name meant in true form, till I got a little bit older and had a conversation about it with her. Yeah, it is a little bit about how my personality is in general. So it's somewhat befitting, as she must have got it right from the beginning when I was young. But yeah, she told me she spent a lot of time thinking on it and dreaming on it and praying on it. And I was just glad that I was able to get named by her. My daughter was the last great-grandchild that she named. And her name is Kapua Maiole. And that was the last great-grandchild that she named before she passed.
What does that mean?
The flower that never fades, like it's the flower that keeps blooming. It's constantly vibrant and will never fade. Kapua and Mai is no, and Ole is to continue to live, So I guess it's of her continuing to be vibrant and alive constantly, and that's really her personality. Yeah.
When I talked to you last week, the big theme for me was koho'ia, right? I think I mentioned that to you.
Yep.
And koho'ia, explained to me from John DeFries, was when your destiny chooses you, right? Mm-hmm. You don't have a choice. I thought about it as like the universe is volunteering you. You know what I mean? He talked about his ancestral bones were buried on the land, that the job that he was supposed to take on, and he was wondering if he should do it and so on. And it was like, hey, this is your koho'ia.
Yeah.
It chose you. So I did something that I don't normally do, which is research, but I did it. And your name popped up. And then I started to look at it because I was trying to research the company, but there was nothing on the company. It showed your name. I was like, oh, that's an interesting name. Let me put the name and do some research on your name. Okay? Can I share this with you?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so Kawaiho olana, right? The literal meaning is the water, right? Kawai. And ho'olana is like in which one floats carefree.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's the literal meaning. The symbolic meaning could be like floating, free of burdens, letting go of kind of heavy thoughts and peace, right? Mm-hmm. Like life's flow, like water moving steadily, teaching us to move through change and trust rather than resistance, okay? Then we move into the huna meaning, the spiritual kind of more meaning. The conduit of mana, right? So mana being our life force, the energy, the power, whatever you want to call that. So water, which carries the spiritual power, Kawaiho olana represents a channel connecting the seen, which is the physical world, with the unseen, the spirit world, inviting us to be conduits of healing energy. And then it said the balance of selves. Water's harmony mirrors the huna goal of balancing the uhane, the higher self, unihipili, our subconscious, and unihivai, our body, to help us integrate mind, body, and spirit. And a little bit more into spiritual meaning, which was rebirth and renewal, because springs are birthplaces of streams symbolizing new beginnings and continual renewal of spirit.
Wow.
And sanctuary, which is a sacred resting place where one connects with Aina land and ancestors, embodying the aloha and care that flows from place to person. Okay.
It's pretty deep.
The spring, Kawaiho olana. Do you know who used to bathe in that?
Well, which spring are you talking about?
Kawaiho olana.
Where is it, though? Because I didn't really even existed.
It's a spring. Queen Ka'ahumanu would bathe in that. And she named that area to make it so that she could feel careless in the waters.
Where is it?
It runs beneath this building.
Stop it. You gotta be kidding. That's amazing. What incredible.
You are sitting on Kawaiho.
Interesting.
Olana.
Wow, man, give me chicken skin, man.
Bruh, I don't know where this one's going today.
Wow.
But this came together just
that's crazy.
that.
That's crazy. Wow. That's amazing. I should have looked that up in advance myself.
I was like, holy cow.
That's crazy. Yeah.
What
Wow.
is the deal.
Wow. Do you know where it was specifically on this run?
It said that because of the way that the spring was, the developments and so on, it's probably chunked up, but it's somewhere between here and Manoa Road.
Wow, that's amazing. You know, it's funny because I was just talking to Afatia Thompson yesterday about a naming, and we're looking at a project down in Ala Moana, and we're just talking about all these rivers that used to run through here. 40 different rivers used to come through down to, you know, the Waikiki, Ala Moana area. And that's exactly what I was talking about yesterday. And naming that development something.
Yeah.
And we were talking about waters, we're talking about healing, we're talking about springs, we're talking about, you know, the vai and the richness of the water and what the water brings to our people. And man, same vein. You were looking it up and I was probably talking about it.
So that brings us today, which is like, that's why I said I'm super excited for today, because I'm like, I don't know why. I don't do research on it. I popped this one up and went, holy cow, this is nuts.
That is pretty crazy. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
If you resonate with Greater Good Radio, please join our community at www.greatergoodradio.com, where you can get access to exclusive content and offerings. Hope to see you soon.